We Rad Dads, bringing a soft edge to a hard topic. Join us every week as we talk to real people with real stories, from the everyday single parent to family professionals, and find entertainment along the way. Join me, Walter J. Eggers, as I discover and share wisdom. Positive changes start here. Episode 0 for a podcast is the equivalent to the About Me page. We will have all this information posted on our About Us page for We Rad Dads, but I wanted to go through it here in our format and explain it to you in my voice. Because, well, get used to it. This is what you're going to be hearing. We're ecstatic to have you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for making Rad Dads what it is, and I'm really looking forward to our future. So I'll keep this brief. What is We Rad Dads? We Rad Dads is a community of single parents, step-parents, and stay-at-home parents united in common struggles. Now, I want to focus on one word in that sentence, and that's parents. You know, our title is We Rad Dads, but we're not excluding anyone. Obviously, my experience lies with fatherhood. Shocker. And I will talk to some degree about fatherhood, but I do believe our parenting practices apply unilaterally across both genders. I aim to provide our primary resources and information pertaining directly to the struggles of our community, consistently and absolutely free of charge. What that means is I aim to produce an amount of resources on a consistent basis, so you know exactly when I'm going to produce new content. All right, so that's a real brief about us, and we'll get a little bit more into it later. But the point of the About Us, or about me in this case, is who is this voice that you're hearing? Well, my name is Walter Eggers. My experience is pretty diverse. I never thought I'd be behind a microphone, much less a single dad. But if life has taught me anything, it's to embrace change. I have 13 years of combined experience as a firefighter within federal, state, county, city, and special districts. I have taught, coached, and led teams of highly skilled and specialized personnel in a variety of operational objectives. I have been involved in leading teams and instructing with the Wildland Firefighter Apprenticeship Program, a federal fire academy located in Sacramento, California, and am a graduate and teaching assistant for Butte Fire Academy in Northern California. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in management and Associate of Science degree in social and behavioral sciences. I have a host of other occupations, a laundry list of interesting accumulations of, well, skill, I guess. Things such as consulting forester, commercial driver, fabricator, customer service representative, bouncer, prep cook, and, of course, entrepreneur. But most important of all those things is what I do now. I have been a stay-at-home dad and a proxy step-parent, and I'm now a very happy single father to an amazing 3-year-old boy who has shown me who I am, that I matter, and who has changed me for the best. I want to focus on that for just a minute here. I am very happy as a single parent. Maybe not always, not 100% of the time, but I would say as far as single parents go, I feel blessed for my situation. And my aim is to help you feel that way too. So why We Rad Dads? You know, going through my struggles, I found myself within my own bomb crater. That's a construct that I'll demystify during our episodes. I was left reeling without resources. No family close by to lean on, no friends or contacts who really understood what was going on in my life. My personal pride, coupled with my shame at my situation, kept me from reaching out. I think it's a guy thing, but really I think it's a defensive mechanism that just people employ. I locked away my struggle within. I sequestered myself within my own thoughts, in the confines of my own mind, and as many people do, I locked away my struggle inside. When I eventually tried to reach out, no one knew what to say, if they would say anything at all. Oftentimes it was just avoided. I don't blame other people though. I take full responsibility for my situation. And I think that's really helped, admitting where my faults are, understanding where I failed, and now trying to rebuild. I think that's another important part of healing, is to admit failure, but not to be defined by it. Just a little sidebar here, I really enjoy quotes. And so that's a perfect little segue to one of my favorites, by Thomas Edison. It says simply, "I haven't failed. I've only found 10,000 ways that it won't work." That's an important concept. I believe it was Einstein who said, if you haven't failed, you aren't trying. Let's face it, being a single, step, or stay-at-home parent is difficult. I feel it's especially difficult for guys, and there's such a social stigma attached to it, as if we're inept or unsuited for such a thing. It kept me from reaching out, and I know there are others, just like me. When I eventually did reach out, I felt weak, like I was a failure, that I was whining or crying, and I think maybe to a degree I was. I'll take full responsibility for that. The problem was I just couldn't find a resource. I couldn't find what I was looking for. Help, understanding, experience, wisdom, advice. These are the things that I was looking for, but I was looking in the wrong places. When I was able to finally track down somebody who was willing to talk, they were jaded, negative, and reactionary. Definitely not the kind of people I wanted to surround myself with, and I knew that was a caustic environment for healing. A relatively new quote that I've taken to heart recently states, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." I took that to heart when considering these jaded and negative people. I did not want to be their average. When I did find those who weren't negative and jaded, they were completely shut off. I assume it's because they were either still fragile or reeling emotionally, or just too proud to admit that they had failed. Maybe once they moved on, they buried it and never wanted to go back. And I don't blame them. Thankfully, however, I have found people who are willing to talk about it, and I want to bring them to you. Real people with real stories. That is what We Rad Dads is about. At my worst, I found myself being a bad parent, acting out and boiling over due to cumulative stress. Afterward, I would be brought to tears when I realized how I had treated my own son. Guilt led to further frustration, which led to anger, and the cycle continued. Realizing that was the person I was becoming, and those were my reactions that I couldn't control, I knew I needed help. That's the underlying reason I created We Rad Dads, is to reach out to those people who were feeling frustrated and bottled up, to let them ease that tension in a positive way, to understand that you're not alone. We're all going through this. There's a huge community of people struggling right now, and it's okay. It's okay if things aren't going your way. It's okay, because it is hard. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I resolved to bridge that gap, to provide the answers and the resources and the community that I had been desperately looking for. And thus, We Rad Dads was conceived. Myself and We Rad Dads aim to produce resolve through conversation, inspiration, community, resources, and skills. But I vow to bring entertainment to information. This isn't going to be you sitting on the couch and listening to someone drone on about how you should do this and that. This is a conversation. I want your active involvement. I've prepared a manifesto, which I will post online at our About Us page. Number 1, we will provide the most genuine information in a consistent manner from real people with real experiences who have made real changes to better their lives for themselves and their families. Number 2, our main content will be available to the world completely free of charge. Number 3, all content will be presented in an entertaining and enlightening manner so as to bring a soft edge to a hard topic. We vow to be inspiring, informative, positive, and carry an overall message of optimism. Number 4, the intended result of We Rad Dads will be to better yourself from within, thereby strengthening your parental bond with your children, improving your family unit, and thriving both personally and socially. Number 5, the underlying mission of We Rad Dads is to serve to enhance children's lives by way of improving parents' lives. Our aim is to produce emotionally intelligent, well-adjusted people of all ages. Number 6, all content will be valuable and speak to our audience in a way which addresses relevant struggles in our lives. It will primarily serve to benefit our audience and through them serve others. Number 7, We Rad Dads will be a place of positive communication on any channel we offer. Online, offline, personal, telephone, written, or other. These last 5 pertain to me in particular, and I want to showcase what integrity and stock I have in this show. Number 8, I will lead by example, and my example will be my most valuable product. Number 9, I strive to instill the values and behaviors of being intentional, humble, and authentic, taking appropriate actions, and doing the hard work, which will lead to the best possible outcome for others. Number 10, I strive to constantly communicate that now matters. We will never have the opportunity to make an impact in this world or our families like we do right now, best captured by an old Chinese proverb. And another favorite quote of mine: the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Number 11. I strive to demonstrate that children are the greatest gift ever bestowed upon you. They are your best teacher and most loyal student. Taking time to be a parent is an investment which returns proportionate to your involvement. And number 12. I will stay true to these values in order to maintain integrity for myself, my family, my production, and all users. So now that you know who we are and what we're all about, I'm going to tell you what you can expect from us. Our primary stream will be podcasts. Initially, I will produce 2 episodes weekly. One full-length interview episode lasting approximately 30 to 45 minutes, and one microsode lasting 5 to 10 minutes. The microsode will be released later in the week and contain nuggets of information. It's mostly a solo episode, but sometimes may include a guest, recording, or telephone conversation. In the future, we expect to grow, but we can only do that with your support, which, I want to emphasize, will cost you nothing. All we need is a few social media transactions. That's it. I aim to produce several episodes a week, hopefully up to 4. In order to do this, your feedback is vital. Why am I doing this? That's a good question. The reality is, I just want to help people. I don't think anybody deserves to be in that position that I found myself in and stay there the rest of their life. One thing is for sure, you need to go through that place to get to this one, to get resolve. But if you're stuck with your head down, moping about, you'll never see that cause, and your family will suffer accordingly. That's unacceptable to me. So I hate to sound cliche here and all Jerry Maguire, but help me help you. Thanks for joining me. Well, that's it for this episode of We Rad Dads. I sincerely thank you for joining us. Don't forget to look us up at www.weraddads.com. There you can find links to our Facebook page and Twitter account. Got a question or comment? It may be featured. Email me, walter@weraddads.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for joining us. And remember, stay up, stay connected, and stay rad, dads.